Well, hello everybody. I am back today. Today is Saturday. And you know what? I was kind of like going through in my mind the last couple of months, like what's the salary for most of the flight attendants in the US? I've always wondered, I remember going into this, I think salary plays a huge role. I mean, once you're about to apply, to become a flight attendant, obviously the first question you're going to ask is how much am I going to be making? Now, for a lot of you guys, being a flight attendant is actually a passion of yours. This is something you want to do, whether you get paid a lot or not. For a lot of you, it's either a second job or you're retired and this is something, you already have money and you're already settled in life, and this is just a part-time thing that you're doing for fun because it's always been a dream. For other of you, you're just hoping to grow with the company, so you're starting at a base salary and hoping to make your way up there salary wise, because you're going to have 15-20 years with the company. So it all depends, your the way that you're viewing this new employment. And I remember just laying there in bed thinking, I wonder, what all the airlines flight attendants are making, because you have companies that have been in business for so long and then you've got new ones that are coming in, and I just was kind of like wanted to make in comparison as far as what the base salary was for all the airlines and what the flight attendants were getting paid. So now keep in mind, these numbers were found online. Some of them were old, some of them were new, so they may vary by $1 or a few cents, so don't take my word for it at 100%. Now, I might be close, so that gives you a good idea, but I wanted to start off with the airline that pays the less, going all the way up with the airline that pays the most, just to give you an idea of basically what it is that you are to be expecting if you are to work for these airlines. Now, keep in mind, there are some that probably went out of business as I was writing them, and I'm like, oh my gosh, they're no longer around. I'm gonna mention them just to give you an overview of what the airlines were offering at the time before they went out of business because of COVID, unfortunately. But I wanted to go ahead and start my list and let you know. But before I do that, actually, you guys, we are all aware of what's been going on with the airlines, especially my airline, who's been under the spotlight. We're always such a great target, unlike the bigger companies who are able to just squash the news very easily. Ours, because we have such a huge flow of customers, more than others. We've expanded with our fleet and with our flight attendants. We have a lot of new planes, new customers, you guys. So of course we're going to be the target and the spotlight. So we're all over the news for the last couple of weeks. Or for the past week, actually. But with that said, I just want to take a second and pray for my coworkers. I know some of them are stranded pretty much in different places. And it's very stressful for them. So I just wanted to take a minute to pray for them, send them positive light and energy their way, just because I know that it hasn't been easy for all of us, for also the airline, just regrouping and getting all of the staff together to just kind of get back into the groove of things, which is taking a little bit longer than anticipated, and it's very stressful for everybody. So I truly, truly pray that we get out of this entire confusion and mess and just make light of it all, and hopefully we can look back and think, we made it as a team and we've grown closer and stronger because of it. So if you guys will just send out some positive energy. I've seen some feedback online where a lot of the flight attendants were actually treated to dinner. They were given some gifts. People are very, very attentive to, and they're very aware of what's going on, and they're very kind. And then you have the opposite spectrum where there's a lot of aggressivity and anger. So hopefully you guys kind of, think about it this way. We are at the mercy of what is going on. We don't make the rules, we just have to follow them. And unfortunately, it doesn't go well with just everybody. So let's just kind of take a second and reflect that we are all people. We're all trying to make our company the best that it could be by uniting our forces and joining forces. And so let's just keep in mind that we're doing day to day the best that we can, and we may disappoint some people along the way, but those are things that we're, like I said, out of our control, but we're going to make the best that we can do to make sure that everybody is safe, make sure that everybody is satisfied and happy, because at the end of the day, customers come first, right? Clients or clients, passengers, or guests. At the end of the day, it's not just our airline. There's many airlines that have been affected by this. And so let's just hope that we all come out, with some positivity through it all. So with that said, let's get started, you guys. I'm really excited. Let's start with our list I'm going to go from lower all the way up to the highest paid airline. We're going to start with the lowest, which is IARO. So IAERO. I never know how to say that. IARO. IARO. Okay. They're actually paying right now for flight attendants $15 an hour. All right, they are the lowest paid airline, and they are brand spanking new, you guys. I have some friends that have, like I said in previous videos, that have graduated and working for them now. They're very happy. Obviously, this is a base pay. The increase starts out, if it's anything like my airline, I know that we got a pay increase very, very early on. And then the pay increase kept going. And within a year to 2 years, you could see a huge difference from when we started. So keep that in mind, you guys. That is not something permanent. The $15 an hour will increase eventually. I'm not sure about how IARO works. All I can tell you is that that will not stay. You will get an increase eventually. I'm not sure. Like I said, it could be in a year, it could be in 6 months, could be in 3 months. I don't know that. I should have probably asked them, but don't want to bother them at this point, but I'm sure you can find it online. Second up would be Horizon Air. You're looking at $16 an hour. All right, so you get that $1 more if you do get hired by then. Then there's also Mesa Airlines is at $17 per hour for flight attendants that are starting with them. Then you have Compass Airline, I believe no longer is around. That's one of the airlines that I was telling you guys about that may be or may not be still around. I believe it is no longer, but I did interview for them and did get my CJO with them. I was supposed to start training, but I just decided with my airline instead. But that was one of the airlines that I had applied, and that was $19 an hour at the time. SkyWest follows them with another $19 per hour for all flight attendants. Then you have PSA. PSA is also $19 an hour. You guys, I have my list here, so just bear with me. Endeavor Air is right behind them at $19 per hour for all flight attendants starting with them. Then you have Republic Airways. They're just one up there at $20 an hour, you guys, so that's pretty good. Envoy Air, $20. All right, we're getting higher there, you guys. All right, next up, Hawaiian Air is at $20 for all flight attendants starting with them as well. Transstate is also at $20. Then we have GoJet. GoJet is actually at $20 an hour as well. Then we're skipping a little bit by $1. Then we have Frontier. Now, you guys remember, I am like rounding these off. They could be like $20.85. And like I said, the pay increase will go along maybe within a few months of starting, or even just out of training. I mean, it just changes per airline, so just keep that in mind, okay? Frontier, we're at 21. Woo, I love my Frontier. Got a CJO with them too, love that company. ExpressJet is at 21 as well. Now we're skipping one more dollar after that. Spirit Airline is at $22 an hour. Again, keep in mind, could be 22 and a couple of cents, but I'm just giving you a round figure just to give you an idea, right? So $22 an hour. Allegiant, we're skipping up again at $23 an hour. And then we have JetBlue. JetBlue is at 23. Now we're doing a big jump of $3 an hour more. So it's going to go from JetBlue all the way up to Alaska, you guys. Alaska is now offering $26 an hour, which is pretty good. Now we're getting close to that $30 mark an hour, which is really good, you guys. So when you're starting to talk, Allegiant, JetBlue, that's when you're starting to talk real money. Because I think before that, not that $20 is not a lot, but we're hitting, once you start hitting between the 15 and the 17 That's something that you could still get working, you know, on regular jobs right now. I know it's not, you know, the minimum pay I believe right now is between $12 and $14. You know, don't quote me on that, but the airlines that I started with start paying you, but maybe a few dollars more than that. But then when you start hitting the $20 an hour and going upwards, you can tell your paycheck, you can tell the difference in your paycheck. All right, so we are at JetBlue, which was 23. Now we're gonna go up to Alaska, you guys. Alaska is $26. All right, that's a pretty good dollar amount. And then we go to Southwest. Southwest is at 28, you guys. Woo, that's a really good pay. $28 for Southwest. And we're gonna jump to the main airline, American, which is at 30. Now I've looked online, some people had said $31.35. People can go up to 34 as well, or start at 34. I believe it all depends also on your languages. So if you master more than one language, it depends also where you're based. It depends also on different factors that would allow you to start at a different rate. But I'm just kind of giving you a general idea. They do start at 30, so whether it's 31, 32, 33, you're in the 30s right off the bat with American. Then you're gonna go up to United. United, it's looking like it's a $31. Now it did say 28 somewhere, but then it's at 31. So again, don't quote me, but it's in the high 20s, early 30s, or you know, beginning of 30s. So I have 31 here, so I'm going to stick to that. American 30, United 31, and then the highest who scored very highly was Delta with $34, which is incredible. So Delta with $34 is definitely on top of the list here. So American, United, Delta, you're looking in the 30s. Any other airline before that, like I said, Southwest is right there at the base of the big guys. All right, so you've got basically Allegiant, JetBlue, Alaska, and Southwest, which are kind of like in the early 20s, going higher in the higher $20 scale. Now again, these airlines, you guys, some of them have left. Okay, there might be some. You guys have to remember that a lot of us get commission. Okay, when I say commission, it could be for sales that you've made on board, for credit cards that you've had members, you know, fill out, for overtime, you guys, for time away from base, plus internationals. So all of those things add to your salary. Now, if this was your base salary, there's always probably, I want to say, between $500 to all the way up to $2,500 that may be added yearly in all of those little bonuses. So just take that in mind. So if you want to add, you know, the 2,500 divided by 12, you can add that and kind of calculate your salary. Now, not everybody's doing overtime, and not everybody's doing credit cards, you know, to get a little percentage, and not everybody can make a lot of sales, you know, because I mean, we only get a percentage of all the sales, and it's split among all flight attendants. Now, this is the way we work it with our airline. I'm not sure how your airline will work, but just keep in mind that these are just the basic hourly rates, and you guys are looking at a lot more on your paycheck when your paycheck comes. Now, the way that our airline did it is we get 2 paychecks a month. Every 2 weeks we get paid. The first 2 weeks is basically you know, whatever work time that we've done. And then the other paycheck 2 weeks later is basically the bonuses and all the extras, and the, you know, time away from base, and the per diem, which is, again, like I said, the time away from base. Even when you're sleeping, you're still getting paid that. So it's kind of divided in two. Now, this is my airline. I don't know what your airline, you know, the way that they've split the pays, and I'm pretty sure they do something similar. But if not, you guys, at the end of the day, it's a nice chunk of change, you know, if you're putting in the work, and if you're doing your overtime like everybody's supposed to do, and you're working hard, and you're adding your hours, and you're adding trips to your schedule. Of course, you're going to see that increase, you know. So again, it all depends on how much you want to work. This is why being a flight attendant is so flexible. Now, it says the average of a flight attendant makes between $37,000. So it says $37,651 all the way up to $50,000. So that's like the base average. Now, again, if you work for the big major US airlines like American, United, Delta, Alaska, Now you're looking at a lot more, okay? You're probably looking at upwards of $85,000, and I'm talking for people with a lot more experience too, because as you have more years of experience, you're getting paid a lot more per hour. So you were looking at probably $50,000 to $80,000. I know some flight attendants make a lot more than that, just because they are workaholic. And they just love to work. Now, I also know that people that don't work that much and make just as much, because you guys, they are smart. What they do is they have so many years of experience, and I'm talking like 15 plus. Let's say they have 20 years. They're already maxed out as far as their hourly pay. And then with that, they make a huge salary, okay? So they don't have to work as much, and they make just about the same paycheck as someone that just got started, but have to add so much overtime and so much time. So, you know, in retrospect, you guys work it the way that you want it. If you have a family, don't want to be too much away from them, you could kind of like tweak your schedule to stay with your family, and at the same time, you know, just work the amount of time that you want. And again, that's if you have seniority, because you have more flexibility with your schedule. It's really, really relevant, you guys, with the years of experience that you have more of a flexible schedule, and then you tend to decide whatever it is that you want to do, whether you want to work or you don't, or you can always have that flexibility of just putting in a few hours every month and, you know, having a second job with that. And so you'd be making a lot more than what I've quoted, obviously. But this gives you a general idea, you guys, for those of you that are interested in becoming a flight attendant. It gives you an overview of, you know, the airlines that, you know, as far as base pay, where you want to go, and that definitely will influence you in the future. So I hope this was informative, you guys. I always like to compare. I've never really seen a video where it just gives you a whole spectrum of all the airlines of what they're paying, but I just thought this would be informative, you know, for you guys to make that decision in the future if these are the airlines that you may be interested in. So if you guys want to comment below, if you are working for an airline, you want to share your pay rate and, you know, how many years you've been working for them, that'd be great for all of us to maybe read and maybe get an idea and insight of, you know, what it is to be a flight attendant and how much you're getting paid with this many years in. So that would be great if you could comment that below. If not, then that's okay, you guys. And if you're interested to see more videos related to airline, you know, coaching, which is what I do also. So if you guys are thinking of, you know, applying to any of these airlines that I've mentioned, and you just don't know how to go about because it's been a while, you haven't really interviewed, I'll give you the key to success and how to interview properly. You can just email me at flywithshelly@gmail.com, or you can go on my website at flyingwithshelly.com, and then on there you can kind of click your coaching sessions that you're interested in. It could go from 15 minutes to 30 minutes to an hour to 2 hours, depending on how much you think you may need. And I'm here for you guys to help you just achieve your goal and to become a flight attendant. I have plenty of reviews as well. I also have an Instagram account and a Facebook, so you feel free to, you know, read all the comments on there and the reviews. And with that said, I hope this was very informative. Guys, please subscribe, click the notification bell, and I will make sure to upload a lot more videos for you. And I'm so just grateful for all of you, and thank you so much for watching me. Love you. Hope you have an amazing weekend, and may the force be with you. Bye guys. See ya.